I'm about to tell you why most people don't understand the algorithm. I've heard many creators complain about the algorithm. They blame it, they fight it, they try to beat it. But the truth is, the algorithm is not working against you. It is doing what it is actually designed to do. The real problem is that most people do not understand what it is actually looking for. There's a moment that most creators don't talk about. You post something you're proud of, you go back to watch it yourself. This is good, you think. An hour later, 10 views, a few likes, silence, you refresh again, still nothing. Then you open your feed, you see another creator talking about the same thing you talked about. Less effort, less detail, but it's everywhere. That's the moment it starts feeling personal. Like something is working against you, but is not. So, what's the difference? It's not luck, neither is it favoritism, it's understanding. Because the algorithm is not asking who deserves to grow, it is actually asking how are people responding to this. Now, this is what a lot of people miss. The algorithm itself is not focused at you, the creator. It is actually focused on the audience. It watches, do people actually stay? Do they stop? Do they engage? Do they come back? If the answer is yes, then your content moves. If the answer is no, your content remains stuck. Not entirely because your content is bad, but because the response is weak. The algorithm does not decide your success upfront. Every piece of content is shown to a small group at first. If that small group responds to it well, then the algorithm pushes it to more people. If not, it slows down. So, growth is not blocked, it is earned through response. Every post is a test, every reaction is a feedback. Now, this is the exact spot that so many creators get stuck. Posting every day, trying to stay consistent, trying to stay active. But consistency alone never drives growth. Response does. So you could post every day consistently and still not get the results because the power remains in how the audience respond to whatever you put out there. If there's one thing that you should know, it is that the algorithm never creates behavior. It follows behavior. So when people ignore your content, it reduces reach. Then if people engage with your content, it increases reach. So the algorithm is never controlling the outcome. Your audience and people are responsible for the outcome of any content you put out there. When people say the algorithm never pushed my content, they actually mean the response wasn't strong enough to push it further. And that's a completely different perspective. So, what does this mean for you as a creator, brand, or business owner? Rather than asking, what should I post? I need you to understand that your audience holds power. So, your question should be, how would my audience respond to this content I'm putting out there? Because growth does not come from activity, it comes from response. And that is the secret that the strongest creators understand. Now, let's do a small exercise. For each time you scroll through Instagram, TikTok, or any social media platform, there's some content that naturally just gets your attention. And you know, the suspense, the hook, you're just like, what's happening next? So that is how several other people will respond to certain content you put out there. So as a creator, I need you to put yourself in the shoes of the audience, of whoever you think would watch this. How would they respond? At this point, everything connects. Attention drives visibility, the algorithm itself tracks behavior, and response determines growth. Once you understand that, you stop guessing. Most people will hear this and keep on creating the same way. A few other people will rather shift how they think, and you should be among those few. How they structure their content, how they approach attention, and those are the ones who grows. So next time when you want to post the content, rather than asking, is this good? Ask, will people stay? This question alone can change absolutely everything. I hope today you make that change. See you in our next video.